Hi guys, Jay Smith here, welcome to the Ask Golf Nut channel. So today we're going to be talking about what's happening when it comes to the Mizuno Pro line. Now, Mizuno haven't actually said anything officially to a point of saying what date the new Mizuno Pro series of irons are coming. But we all know it's coming early in 2024. However, let's have a little chat about what is coming up, what is to be expected of the changes for the new 2.4 series. Again, we don't know officially that it's going to be called the 2.41, 2.43, 2.45, although you'll see for the information that I'm going to be popping up on the screen why it's going to be called 2.41, 2.43 and 2.45. So all this information that I'm about to talk about is freely available on the internet for people to find themselves with a certain amount of effort. So I'm not going to get in trouble with anything that I'm about to say, or anything or any information that I'm going to give is based on what I've been able to find for myself and nothing to do with what I have learned internally of when it comes to the changes for the new 2.4 series over the 2.2 series. But there's some exciting changes when it comes to the available options and the changes technically within the new 2.4 series over the 2.2 series. But we'll do 2.41, 2.43 and of course the 2.45. Most people want to hear about the 2.23 replacements, the 2.43 and of course the 2.25 replacements, the 2.45. But let's first of all have a look at the blade, the 2.41, the 2.21's replacement. The pictures that you now see on the screen are information basically from USGA. So whenever a club manufacturer decides that it wants to put a new model, a new range in play, first what it has to do, it has to go to the governing bodies and basically ask to say if that's okay. We have a conforming list, and of course these pictures, these renders are from the conforming list. So they don't give the full, if it's going to be full on chrome or anything else like that, but again, we can make certain assumptions to its finish. So the 2.41, the differences that I can see straight away is if you go back to the old days, back in the day of when we used to have this thing, the the MP5. MP5. You remember this thing, the double chromed, lovely. That actually now, the 2.41 goes back to having a very similar look to the MP5. It has that kind of returned edge on the heel and the toe, and most of the meat is in the middle. And it also is different when it comes to the top line. You can see the top edge there is chamfered. The whole thing is chamfered. Now, on the MP5, you had a very, very sharp top line. It was very thin and it was quite sharp going from the top line straight to the back of the golf club. This one has got a look of, though, a little bit more meat at the top. Now, I know they've done that on the wedges in time past to try and move the center of gravity around. Now, we don't know what loft of iron this is. This could be any number of iron, but then if you look at how the head relation to the hosel, I don't think this is a hugely lofted. It looks like a 7-iron give or take head. So you can see it's moving possibly a little bit of mass slightly further up the head and very much so more in the middle. So where the 2.21 has a little bit of relief here and there, it's not as aggressive as it is on the 2.41. Now you can also see by the people that are looking at the hosel, it says 2.41 on the hosel, not 2.41 on the actual body of the golf club. Now for me personally, I think that looks a little bit cleaner. You have got the Run and Burn logo on the middle of the golf club at the back, and the Mizuno Pro. Now I'm starting to get used to that over time. I hark back to the MP days, but Mizuno Pro is here to stay, and it actually looks quite good. It looks like quite clean, quite sleek. Now we don't know what finish is going to be in. Obviously we'd like it double chromed like the MP5. Well, I would do because I love my chromy stuff, but we don't know. I think obviously it will be chrome, but we don't know, but let's assume it will do. Let's have a quick chat about one other thing before we go into 2.43. Now this next picture, either someone has done a very, very good job of some flipping action when it comes to Adobe Photoshop. Other software is available, of course. But it looks like the Mizuno Pro 2.41, the blade, will be available in left-handed. Now, we don't know if there is going to be a blended set between this and something else, but we do know that from this, it looks like the 241 will be available to the lefties in a blade option, which will be fun to see how the sales go on that one, because generally speaking the lefties are left out a little bit within reason, because obviously so few numbers when it comes to comparing them against the right-hander. So yes, when it comes to a manufacturer, they have to be a little bit aware of how much the molds etc is going to cost against how much they are going to sell to make it worthwhile or not. But it looks like 241 will be available in left-handed. 243, let's go straight into those. So out of the Mizuno Pro series, if you look at the sales side of things, obviously the 241 or the 221 is the lowest sales version of the lot. That's not a surprise, it's the blade, we get that. When it comes to the 223, 225, they're the mainstay selling side of the Mizuno Pro range, and so any changes they make to that are going to be interesting. So 243, again, the number is on the hosel now, not anywhere to do with the head, which does make it cleaner. Now, I'm going to put a picture up on the screen of the current 223. And then against the 243, the newbie, and it looks like, and I know this has also been said by quite a few different people, but it looks like a Ping i210 and the 223 has had some intimate affair and have come up with this. Now, it's an interesting look. Now, again, we don't know what the technology inside the head will be. However, we do know, because there are certain pictures available, again, I'll pop one up there, that there's going to be a blended, and very much so like the 223 is now when it comes to the standard 1025E, the HD 1025E, we now have the opportunity to have a chromoly side of it, no different we got now. However, I think the new one is going to be of the 433, 435, 4335, whatever the new JPX 923 is going to be a similar version to that. It would make sense that it would be. Do I know that for sure? No, I don't. But the JPX 923 range with the new version of chromoly have worked so well when it comes to that. It would be daft for Mizuno not to make the new 243 and 245 potentially out of the new, stronger material, which makes the face thinner, more ball speed, kind of that idea. And if you look at these two pictures, you have got the forged version and you have got the chromoly version. I'm also guessing from the look of the back plating, one looks completely forged, as in a case there is no cuts in the lines whatsoever, where the chromoly version, you can see that there is a cut version of the back badge, and that back badge there where it's cut, I'm pretty certain you are going to be talking about still having a micro slot, a JPX 923 forged style micro slot, but with the JPX 923 chromoly material in there. Again, I don't know that, I'm not 100% certain on this one, but it would make absolute sense for them to do that because of the clear benefits it would give when it comes to ball speed, and obviously being able to make the face variable thickness and stuff like that to gain more forgiveness. So we'll go to the 245 now. This one will be obviously the hollow bodied one, the one that's potentially going to be filled with tungsten. Again, I don't know, but Mizuno have had the tungsten in there for quite a while now, and so I don't foresee any changes going forward. It looks basically from this picture like a fat 241, and again that's no surprise because the MP20 HMB, the 225 have all been versions of the fat blade effectively, and obviously for forgiveness purposes, the lower further back center of gravity, the variable face thickness side of it, the tungsten to help off center hits. There are so many reasons why it's a good idea to obviously make the 245 designed the way it is. Now you can see there that the 245 has got the chromoly on it, and again we don't know what the number of iron is, but by the look of the back compared to the hosel, I would say this is a fairly straight face golf club. I would say this is possibly 5 iron, something of that nature, and if you go by the current technology split when it comes to 223 and also 225, the technology that you have with the tungsten and of course the chromoly and stuff like that, they do move and so you get to like 9 and pitching wedge and stuff like that, that they are full on normal 1025E, because technology works differently when you take loft away and add loft and stuff. So I won't, that's another video, I won't bore everyone. But you can see by the other image there that they do the Grainflow Forged HD version. And again, by the looks of the head, it has got more loft than the previous one. So I would say that this would be an 8 iron. Again, don't quote me on this one when it comes to it, but I would suggest that we're looking at a 7 iron, 8 iron split between the two technologies. For the last picture, shall we say, you can see the difference there. It's still got the chromoly and the forge, but it comes in a left-handed version, which will be fun. And the only difference that you've got here on the 245 over the 241 and 243 is the placement of the number. So with the 245 only, you have the inclusion of the lettering, the model number on the head, where the other two, the 241 and 243, has stamped on the hosel. Some people like that, some people won't. It's a number. It doesn't necessarily bother me. I do like the fact that on does it bother me that it's on the heel side of the head at the back? No, because it does match where the Mizuno Pro, like symmetry wise. But yeah, it doesn't worry me. But I do like the fact that on the 241, because I'm a blade liker, that it's nice and clean. And by what it means nice and clean, it's on the hosel and you have just a very plain back. But yes, the 245 will come in left-handed, as you can see there, with the same technology. And again, when it comes to Mizuno's lineup of the Pro Series, again, it went MP20. The first iteration, we'll call it, of copper underlay. Now again, I've got no information to say these are going to be copper underlay officially. However, again, the information that I've managed to glean from different parts of the internet will be the fact that these will be copper underlay again. So the reason why the copper underlay I think is important when it comes to Mizuno is because of their forging process, their HD forging process, which does make the metal far more consistent but far more dense. And when it has that density to it, it does change the acoustics. They found that in MP18. So going to the MP20 with the first gen of copper underlay changed the acoustics, made it much more quieter, much duller, much more dead when it comes to its strike, much more blade-like and much nicer for the nothing feels like a Mizuno bracket. It will be interesting to see all the differences when it comes to all these three models. Again, I will have all of these three models on my channel in full when it comes to reviews and compares against the old and also the new stuff which is around that these irons are going to be comparing and competing against. So make sure you get down there and subscribe. Also, make sure you get the bell on as well, because that will be notified next time I upload these videos and other videos as well. That's an important thing. But when it comes to finish, I would say from the 241, the blade, the biggest difference I can see is the looks of it when it comes to how the shaping, it looks like they've got a bit more meat behind the golf ball. The 221 was already one of the most forgiving blades the Mizuno have ever made. Now, some people liked it, some people didn't. Some people had wants a bit more of a old school true blade where the meat was right behind the middle and they don't really care about forgiveness and stuff. Well, I don't think any manufacturer can, in nowadays anyway, ignore forgiveness. Forgiveness is important. So it'll be interesting to see how the 241 compares against the 221. The biggest thing for me, obviously, that it's a left-handed version for the first time. When it comes to 243, no left-handed option now, but we do, obviously, we have that change in chromoly to the normal forging, of which has been from last time as well. And then when it comes to the 245, the biggest change for me is the fact that they have a look as though it's a solid run through of the left-handed options. When it comes to any kind of technology, I believe all the chromoly ones, the 243 and 245, are going to have the new 4335, which is 35% stronger, so that means they can make the face 8% thinner and all that lot to make them a bit more faster, a bit more explosive. Don't know lofts yet. I can tell that the blade will, the 241 will be 34 degrees. They've been that for a long time. And then when it comes to the 243, 245, I would say there's going to be a similar cap there is at the moment, 32 degree 7/9, 30 degree 7/9, and so you can blend it still when it comes to being a little bit intelligent how you do the lofts, etc. But it'll be interesting to see how they all work. So, hope you liked the video. If you did, go on thumbs up. YouTube's like so do I. Down there is a subscribe button. If you can get down there and press that subscribe button, it'd be great because it's free. And also, while you're there, is a bell icon. That's a notification bell. If you click that one, that will notify you next time I upload another video. So I hope you're well, and we'll see you again soon.